morning I am on my way out to DFW Honda to take a look at the brand new 2025 Goldwing. I can't wait. No, now you and I both know that's a bunch of malarkey. The 2025s are not out yet. There's been no word, hiding or hair of them. Hey channel, welcome back to another weekend, another week past us, and another Motovlog from Robert White Moto. So glad you're joining me this morning. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for watching. If you are not subscribed and you like motorcycle content, specifically Goldwing content, and a sense of fellowship and just a place to meet once in a while, well then I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. It is free of charge, and when I say free of charge, I really mean it. There will be no asking you to become a member. There is no Patreon account, which by the way is French for paying member. I just made that up, but it sounds right. I'm just going out to DFW anyway to look around, see if there's something I can spend money on. Always seems to be something you can spend money on. Anyway, this morning's video, oh by the way, it's a little chilly this morning. Bike says 43, phone said 40. 40 is my cutoff. So I am sporting all my warm stuff. I've got my heated grips on 4, my heated seat on 4. And I've got these new gloves that I found on the internet. Not super happy with them. They look super cool, you know, with the red and all, and I thought they were going to be okay, but they run small. Compared to like my climb gloves, they run small. This brand, Sumoy, S-U-O-M-Y, Sumi, that's funny. Yeah. Anyway, they run small, number one, and they tout that they are phone friendly with these pads on the fingers. No, it's 10% phone friendly. So don't be fooled by that. I don't have any winter gloves. I'd be wearing my climb gloves, but they are perforated, and in 40-degree weather that makes the fingers a little cold, even with the heated grips. So this morning's vlog is going to be a little bit of a grab bag series. I do this from time to time. Robert White Moto's grab bag. Well, that just means the topics are going to be kind of all over the place. So, buckle up. By the way, if any of you Goldwing owners out there, 2018 or higher year model, are in need of a stock windshield, I have a virtually new one in a box in my garage that's looking for a home. I upgraded to the F4 Customs, and I am certainly willing to part with my stock windshield for a bargain price. If you just, for whatever reason, need a replacement or want a spare, whatever, reach out to me in the comments and we will see what we can do. Get gas. 37 miles. Oh, by the way, got the new I say the new, well, I guess it is relatively, blind spot system back on the bike. You guys saw the video from last week. I reinstalled it. We'll test it on this video this morning to DFW. As you see cars approach on my left and right, at least from this camera, like this car's coming up right now on the right, so watch that right monitor. There it goes. As soon as that car got out of view of my side view mirror, that thing lit up, telling me there was somebody in my blind spot. More on the in-of blind spot detection system in just a moment. Anyway, have a stock windshield if you're in need, let me know. Man, it's a rough week at work. Those of you that are still working, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but just one of those weeks where everything seemed to go wrong at the office, and you know, you get to a certain stage in your career and you're kind of at the upper end of the ladder rung for your chosen profession, and with that thing that you've been climbing for all your life comes a lot of responsibility. The buck stops with you, especially when things go wrong. And I take my job very seriously. I own what is mine. And this week things were going wrong left and right. I think we're going to work through them, but good gracious, what a tough week it was. Made me stop and think, you know, why do we aspire for that top rung of whatever it is we do? Sometimes the cost might be a little too high. Time away from family, time away from doing things you love doing, like riding a Goldwing, traveling, time away from worry. You're constantly worried. Yeah, maybe it's just me. You guys have any pet peeves? I got one I want to talk about real quick. You got pet peeves, put them in the comments below. I went to a favorite sushi restaurant that I like to frequent from time to time, and they know me there, and for the umpteenth time the same person waited on me, and you know, I'm a thank you kind of guy. I'm going to tell you thank you every chance I get. Acknowledge your efforts. And forgive me if you're a young person watching this channel. I don't believe there are that many, but you young people are fond of replying to thank you with no problem. Okay, so I got a little bit of a pet peeve with that, alright? First of all, I didn't imply there was going to be a problem. I didn't think there was going to be a problem. Problem didn't even enter my mind. So when you say no problem, you're not relieving any anxiety from me. You're not offering me anything. Whereas the proper response to thank you, in my mind, is either number one, you're welcome, or like my favorite people at Chick-fil-A say, my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Oh, that is a return of comfort. That, young people, is how you respond. Now go figure out how to count change. Alright, I gotta stop and get some gas. Alright, all gassed up again. Terrible gas mileage this time. I don't know whether it's the cold weather or just the short trips in the city. 36 miles to the gallon this trip. My goodness. That's a few miles to the gallon less than I've seen it. Oh well. Could be that my tires are, because of the cold weather, my tires are a little low. That could be dragging on the mileage. Anyway, so yeah, where was I? Another observation, folks, and if you've lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for any length of time, you'll agree with me. There is a lifelong constant in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Lifelong. My life, your life, doesn't matter. Lifelong constant. That is road work. My goodness, there is road work everywhere for your entire life. It never seems to just be done. You know, back on the NOV for a second. When I posted that video last week of me reinstalling the NOV because I got some repaired parts, some new pieces, some upgraded pieces from the time before, and you'll remember the time before NOV sent me the blind spot detection system to do a formal review on my channel, and that's still out there if you'd like to see it. The results of that formal review only really had one negative, and that was the radar does not pick up a vehicle if you're overtaking it. If it's coming up from behind you, picks it up great, does a great job, stays lit until it's out of radar view. But if you overtake that vehicle and for some reason as you pass it, it stays in your blind spot, number one, it didn't pick it up because it's traveling the wrong direction from front to back. Radar doesn't like that, doesn't understand that, doesn't pick it up. So if you overtake a car and it stays in your blind spot after you overtake it, you won't know it's there, not with this system. Having said that, I got some comments on my last video about reinstalling this NOV system about why NOV, why not Garmin? Have you seen Garmin's got a new product out? I reached out to Garmin and asked that specific question of them. Hey guys, does your radar pick up cars if you overtake them? In other words, I want it to light up if it's in range of that radar, regardless of how it got in that range, from the front or the rear. And they said, yes, it absolutely does. So to answer the viewer's question that posted on my video last week, why NOV? Well, I already had the system. So, but if I was buying brand new today, I'd be taking a hard look at that Garmin system, because it seems to have all the bells and whistles. Matter of fact, I think there's a Garmin that's a combination blind spot detection and dash cam, I think. And speaking of that, Indian motorcycles, oh my goodness, have come to play in 2025. This week they just announced their 2025 lineup. They have upped the power, they have upped the styling, they have upped the technology such that there is now built-in blind spot detection on their bikes, rear collision detection, following too close detection. Oh my goodness. Honda, I'm telling you, when you do announce the 2025s, you had better hit a home run or you're going to lose market share. That's cool. Cool car, dude. Anyway, yeah, Honda, you got to step it up. I mean, there better be a kick-ass navigation system, built-in electronics, oh my gosh, adaptive cruise control. Not everybody's a fan of adaptive cruise control, but I am after having it on my car, and I would be having it on this motorcycle too. Honda, you're just going to have to hit it out of the park. This is your 50th anniversary. This is a pivotal moment if you plan to continue to sell large touring motorcycles. Also, do you guys follow Mark's Garage? Mark lives up in Wisconsin. It's a little cold for riding right now. Single digits, sometimes with a negative in front of them. Bless your heart, Mark. Mark is buying an Africa Twin, and he just put out a video where he went and watched them put together that Africa Twin right out of the crate at the dealership. What a fascinating process that was. And I got to tell you, if I was a younger man, I know, Mark, we're about the same age. You may have me by a year or so. If I was a younger man, I would look hard at that Africa Twin. What fun, what absolute blast that motorcycle looks like it would be to ride with the DCT. Cannot wait for the videos that he puts out on that thing, and I am going to try my best not to go buy one. Good gracious, this seat gets hot. I'm down to 2 on the seat heater. It's toasty. Also, a video out this week. Did you see Cruiseman's wiring under his new 2024 Goldwing seat? He's got a video out of how he did his wiring, and I mean to tell you, that is the most fantastic wiring job I have ever seen. It looks factory, better than factory. It looks custom. Oh my gosh, I got a few more wires than he did. I've got a few more things on my bike than he does, so I'm not all that sure I can pull that off, but would I love to? Oh my goodness, go check out Cruiseman's video of his wiring. You will not believe it. Alright guys, we're approaching DFW Honda, so I'll be back in a minute. My cold weather protection options this morning are doing a great job. This was not a bad ride at all. Alright guys, back with you in just a second. Alright guys, here at DFW Honda, let's take a look at what they have out here today. Got some cool stuff. Got a Vulcan. Not sure what this is. It looks like a Honda Rune. But I'm not so sure. You guys know what that is, let me know. That's pretty slick. Got a Rebel. I reviewed a Rebel not too long ago. It wasn't high on my list. I got a lot of flack for that, but it is what it is. Triumph Rocket 3. Man, that thing's a beast. $2,500 cc's. Yeah, I'd get hurt on that. Lots of trikes. I know I've told you guys before, if you're looking for a trike, DFW Honda is the place to come. Got one in every color. Nice looking Indian here. Man, those are some big tires. Alright, let's head inside. They even got a trike in Cruiseman white. With the red accents. Yeah, it's nice. You know, I've been looking for a short smoked windshield to ride in the summer. This one, I believe, is the Honda version of the short windshield in smoke. And right next to it, I can tell by the curved top that this is the F4 Customs version of the smoked curved windshield. And I believe, I don't know, that might be the full size rather than the short version. This one looks a little darker. And it's curved at the top like the F4. Is it the F4? I don't think so. So it looks like the 2025 Africa Twin also comes in black. That's pretty nice too. There's a 24 Adventure Sport. More 24s. And here's a 24 in red. Yeah, those are nice. Pretty tall, but nice. Alright, well, I actually did walk out of there without buying anything, which is incredible. And in an amazing feat of strength, I actually didn't take part in their free Saturday donut. Didn't have a donut. Every bit of willpower I could muster for that. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the trip to DFW. So let's get back on the bike and finish up this video on the way back home. Thanks for joining me. Alright, well that was a fun trip to DFW. I got some cool stuff in there. Had some cool Goldwing shirts and stuff. Maybe I'll get at some point. Didn't feel like picking up anything today. But I've also noticed that my wireless Apple CarPlay is not working today. And I'm not exactly sure why. As you guys know, I use the quad lock wireless dongle to attach my phone to this bike, and it usually just starts up. Now sometimes it's interfered with by the Bluetooth connection between my Ace Pro camera right here and my helmet. But I didn't even have the Ace Pro on when I first started the bike just now, and I could never get the wireless CarPlay to connect. So I don't know what's going on there. Oh well, we will have to settle, and I do mean settle, for the Honda navigation. Not that I need navigation to get home at all, but there you go. Listen, if you guys have had me and my family in your prayer list for the last week, I want to thank you. Some of you have reached out and said you were doing just that, and I appreciate it. The reason for those prayers, we've seen some positive direction, so you know, prayers are heard, prayers get answered. I don't think it's ever something that'll be fixed totally, but I love to see positive direction, so thank you guys, appreciate that. And also this weekend, if you're at all interested, over on my photography channel, I'll be doing a short video on how you find the sweet spot in your lens. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, Every lens has an aperture ring. That's a little ring that closes and opens and lets more or less light in your lens. And there is a sweet spot in that opening where it is most in focus. And you get the sharpest images. And so I'll be doing a quick video on how, very simply at home, you can test for what is the sweet spot of your lens, if that's all important to you at all. So jump on over to Robert White Photography for some nifty tips like that, and some pretty cool photography, to be honest with you. Get this fantastic machine up and moving. Okay, maybe that's moving a little too much there, Robert. You're gonna move yourself right into a ticket. Guys, well, I guess that's all I have for this weekend. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you again next week. Until then, ride safe and God bless.